Welcome back to County Connection. I'm Robert Henning, Director of the Rockpile Museum. With me today, as always, Heather Rodriguez, Museum Educator.
Yes, hello.
So what do we got going? It's almost time for one of our biggest events of the year.
It is one of the biggest events of the year. Absolutely love it. I always tell people, if you'd asked me 3-4 years ago if I would have a bunch of friends that have sheep wagons, I would say, I don't think so, but I do. And this is one of my favorite events.
What is it?
It's the Sheep Herders Festival.
Okay.
I'm so glad you asked.
Thank you.
And it's May 8th through the 9th. The 8th is when the wagons start coming in. Last year we had wagons come all the way from Idaho. When I first started the museum, that was kind of the inspiration, was an event called Trailing of the Sheep that's in Idaho. And I would just like to say, now this is wild that there are bigwigs in the Trailing of the Sheep from Idaho, but one of them is named Ramon Yusursa. And he is big into the Sheep Wagon Fever page, which there's a Facebook page called Sheep Wagon Fever. A lot of people are really into this, but he has now told me that he's coming to our event.
That's pretty cool.
I know. And so I actually posted and said, are you going to wear a shirt that says I'm Ramon? And he said, no, but I'll have a big black beret.
Okay.
So we're just looking for a guy with a big black beret.
He seems like a very big personality. I don't think we're going to have trouble figuring
Finding
out
him?
who he is.
Yes. Well, I don't know if people around here will know, but yes, Sheep Herders Festival. Friday they'll start coming in, the wagons. We don't ever really know where they're coming from. It's always fun to go out and look at the hill because new ones have come in. And then that night is our ticketed event. We have a Sheep Herders dinner, which is part of the Museum Association.
Okay.
And we have a gal coming from Buffalo who is the caterer, creating a Basque lamb dinner. So people get very excited. Lamb kebabs.
Sounds good.
Yes, then Basque-inspired appetizers and side dishes, and then dessert. We have live music.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. We actually have the Lander pipe. I always want to say pipe and drum. It's just the pipe band, the Lander pipe band. They came last year as a fundraiser because they went and competed in Scotland. So props to Melissa out of Lander because she takes these kids all over and they compete. They do a great job.
Yeah, that's cool. And they were great last year.
They were.
You really don't want to miss them.
No.
Wonderful music. It is, as you would expect with bagpipes, very loud. So you may, if you're not into that, maybe bring a couple earplugs. But
well, and we are out in the field.
We are.
And so that's, I think it does help diffuse that a little bit. And maybe you can talk about the fact why you asked me to get bagpipers.
Well, before we go there, I think people just don't expect it. Like they see them in the distance and they're coming, and then it gets louder and louder, and they're close, and they're like all of a sudden, oh, that's really loud. Because I don't know that we have a lot of experience with bagpipes in our world these days.
Right.
So yeah, and we've always wanted to bring more Scottish culture into the event.
Yes.
It's fairly easy to do Basque culture, but there's still a big community of Basque, particularly in Johnson County, that celebrates their own history and celebrates their culture. They do dance and they do music and writing and poetry and so we just invite them to come and share. Yes. The Scottish descendants of Scots that settled in Campbell County really fell in with American culture. They're Americans fully at this point. Not that the Basque aren't, but just a lot of their culture has, in many ways, gone away, disappeared. They no longer speak the language. They don't play the music. They don't eat the food. And I'm generalizing. There certainly are families that probably celebrate that history, but so how do you bring that to the event? So we had to invite people from a little bit further away, and music is one of the easier ones to do. I'd love to hear some poetry, and there's certainly unique drinks from those cultures that we can do.
There certainly are.
There's ways to bring it. Years and years ago at the library, we did a Robert Burns poetry event.
Sure.
And I made a lamb stew, and I ordered some haggis directly from Scotland.
Oh my goodness.
And so everybody got to try a little bit. It's quite expensive to get it from Scotland.
I can't even imagine.
It's frozen when it comes over, but so everybody got to try it that wanted to try it. It was quite good. So yeah, we could do more of that food someday. Maybe our dinner will be a haggis dinner. Who knows?
Yeah, well,
I don't know if we
it
can sell
will be
those
a
tickets.
haggis dinner when we get to go to Scotland.
True.
Little teaser
Yes.
about that too.
But why do we call it Sheep Herders Festival? That's a question that I get sometimes.
So I would say, and you're here obviously, so you can answer it. I inherited that title. And so it really becomes a piece of telling our history in northeastern Wyoming of sheep herders. And so that's where we're focusing on cultures. And a couple of years ago, we had Peruvian food. We highlighted a lot of people don't have any idea how many different cultures have been represented. A lot of people know Basque because Buffalo is close, and because not only what you said, they actually host international festivals. The next one is in 27 or 28. They'll have the next international festival.
Yeah.
So telling that story, telling the Scotch history, getting people to actually see the sheep themselves. We forget, if you're not from an agricultural background, which so many people are not, they've never been around ewes and lambs.
Yeah.
And so we tell that part of the story. We tell the story of sheep wagons, which is one of my favorites because a lot of people don't realize.
Where were they invented?
Well, Wyoming, but there's a
Oh.
big debate on that. There's a big debate as to where, and people don't realize that where Brachetto's was a sheep wagon manufacturer at one time on Gillette Avenue. There's so much history here, and being able to tell that and the Scotch history. And so that's really what it's about. It's about honoring our culture and our history. What weird museum people we would be doing that.
Yeah. So the sheep herder, we just opened a new exhibit about cowboys. Yes?
Yes.
So come see that, by the way. Brand new exhibit, Wyoming Cowboy Hall of Fame. The cowboy,
Shameless plug.
The cowboy is a very American, iconic character. And the cowboy is very blue collar, right? But the American cowboy came from many different places, many different cultures, and kind of formed into this one character we call the cowboy. The sheep herder is very much the same. The most blue-collar worker on a sheep ranch versus the cowboy on a cattle ranch came from many different places. It's like a low-level, entry-level job.
It is, yeah.
And so I see it as a way to celebrate kind of another interesting, unique American creation.
Well, sure.
And a whole group of people that did this job in this part of the country.
Right.
So that's kind of how I think about it.
Tradition.
It's cowboy, sheep herder. They really go hand in hand in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah. Well, in some places,
Well, yeah.
and we don't tell that story a lot. We don't talk about, the sheep cattle wars, and they were vicious.
Yeah.
I mean, so we're also not celebrating that, but that's also a part of that whole history telling too. And no, I think that's a great way to look at it. It's the tradition, the backbone, the heritage. It's America 250. This is a big part. Wyoming at one time was the top sheep producing state in the union. And so, and we don't talk about it enough. So we're going to talk about it today.
Good.
Yeah.
So what other details about the event? We talked about the dinner. Are there tickets still available?
There are tickets that are still available now. Hopefully, usually those events sell out. So we're well on our way. Then the next thing is the next day. So we have, and let me even back up. That evening, I'm super excited. So we have the bagpipes, but we also have Paul Bennick is going to come over with his family to play background music. So often they're at the Occidental. And so I think that will be this really, really grassroots music. And then David Rompfet. And you and I both feel like David
one and
is
only.
a treasure.
Yeah.
He is a Basque historian, adopted into the Basque culture, but he plays the accordion. He is a fabulous storyteller, engages people in such a great way. So we're going to do sunset, serenades, and s'mores.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Yeah. So we'll have the fire tables out, and David will be playing the accordion, and we'll have a s'mores bar set up.
Does he just play the accordion, or does he play other
No.
instruments?
Yeah, he plays other instruments, but he always brings his accordion.
And the Basque accordion, right?
Yes.
Which is, can you name it?
No, but this is like a pop quiz. I'm failing.
Is. You're failing.
Yeah.
It is called
tell me.
It is called the triquitisha.
Oh, okay.
And it is a unique instrument that the Basque people
I love that
adopted.
you know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It sounds a little different. It plays different. And he describes that. If you want to ask him,
yes.
I'm not going to do a very good job. But
it's a reason to come.
Yeah.
Because David is so phenomenal.
he may be the only person left in America that can play this instrument, as far as I know. I mean, it is that unique. And he has ancient Basque flutes and things like that, too. I don't know if he'll go that deep.
Yeah.
But if you ever get a chance to hear
I should ask him.
a lot of that history, it's very interesting. And the Basque language, he knows the Basque language. It is the oldest non-Latin language in Europe. I mean, it is an indigenous European language.
Well, and his daughter lives in Spain.
Yeah.
And they have,
it's all very interesting.
It is, and he gets to do some fascinating things. But he also goes over there sometimes to play because she's also a musician.
Yes.
And obviously she's in Spain. She is integrated into that culture.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I truly believe that a lot of people have no idea what we're doing at the museum. And this is one of them.
Yeah.
And this is a beautiful cultural event for people to come and experience a culinary story while experiencing a musical story, and all about this very traditional heritage. So that's a beautiful thing. And then the next day we have the Sheep Herders Festival. That starts at 9. It starts by Mike Miller trailing in his sheep from 3 miles away. So we literally shut down roads to bring the sheep across the roads. It's a hoot
It's fun.
to watch. And I'm asking him if he'll bring in his sheep wagon, because his is he always will say, Heather, it's not in very good shape. And I go, I don't care, I love it.
It's well used.
It is, and it's made out of metal, and so it's an interesting story on that one. He brings the sheep in, the bagpipers will play. They're actually gonna talk about the cultural music. They're gonna do the bagpipe demonstration. She does a great job in an education. Then at 10 o'clock, we are adding a new thing. We have a full-blown dog trial.
Oh, nice.
So that's a whole different group of people who love to watch these dogs compete. And there will be, my understanding is 30 entrants. So this will be kind of an all-day trial.
And these are working dogs, right?
Correct.
Explain dog trial.
So yeah, that's a great point. Dog trial, so these are the dogs that actually go out and herd the sheep. And I think they're used in cattle too, but specifically in this event, they're herding the sheep.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating to watch them, because I don't know about you, but we don't just use whistles to command our dogs. There's a lot of get in here, and they're like one little whistle, and those dogs know exactly what to do. And it is amazing to watch.
Yeah.
And Wendy Oski is normally going, she was here last year, she can't come this year. Again, I don't think people realize Wendy is a
World champion.
She is
Yeah.
a world champion. And so these are the people that she rubs shoulders with, and they're the ones putting on the dog trial. And so that's a whole nother element we've never had. We had some dog demos, but not trials. So this is a full-blown competition.
And historically, the sheep herders had dogs that worked
Correct.
with them.
Oh, yeah.
Really their best friends out there on the range. So, because you're spending, as a sheep herder, you're spending months and months out there alone. And so you've got your horses to pull the wagon, and your dogs, and the sheep.
Well, and
No other humans.
like Marie McLaren
Yeah.
with the Peruvians, they have Pyrenees dogs. These are not Pyrenees dogs. That
Those are
working.
guard dogs.
Correct.
These are working dogs.
Yep. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
Good.
And then we will have vendors who specialize in sheep and wool. We are going to open it up this year. The Gillette Farmers Market will be there.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I think that's a great tie-in. And then we have, wool growers. They'll bring their pelts. And so this is another excellent way to be exposed to different things coming out of the sheep and wool industry. I have on my lap, this is one of my favorites, Mountain Meadow Wool out of Buffalo. I mean, they make these, and it's actually very hot, I will tell you, but make these beautiful throws.
Yeah.
This one actually has a sheep wagon.
It does.
It's quite perfect for that. And so hopefully they're coming again this year. We have our own RMA that does things like this, where we have a sheep wagon or sheep herders festival tush towel, pelts. We had people that did wool felting last year. We'll have people that have yarn, everything. It's a whole industry. I see
There
you
is.
smirking over there.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff to check out for
And
sure.
then I actually, you know what, Robert, would you like to hold that up?
I can hold up.
Don't
this
drop
little-
your tongue.
This little sheep herder's wagon.
We have someone coming this year, which the gentleman makes little sheep wagon birdhouses. So I love that. I love being able to actually, this is touch the history. Yes, there's a teeny tiny little Rick Davis out of Glen Rock made these for us last year. Little tiny shepherd's hook.
A crook or hook?
Yeah, a crooker hook.
Yeah.
And then a little dishpan. There's a little dishpan on the door and the little broom. And these are actually centerpieces for the sheepherders dinner. And then this year we also have a new thing that Toby Fisk is coming. He is a blacksmith. So he's actually going to be out there forging tools that would have been used by sheepherders. I asked him, I said, can you make a sheepherder's hook? So he was actually going to be working on some of the tools that people would use.
Yeah. Well, and the inventors of sheepherders wagons
Yes.
were
Blacksmiths. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
In really two
Frank
communities.
George, yes.
Yeah. Douglas or Lander, which one? We don't.
Well, and
we're
if
not
you-
going to say.
I was going to say, you get into it, they'll tell
Or
you
was
Rollins.
it Rollins?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry.
Rollins.
Douglas or Rollins. So.
Yeah. And so people have a chance to come. There's going to be sheep shearing like there was last year. And there's all the Basque dancers will come and David will play again. And so it becomes this all-day event that you can come and go. It's free. Museum admission. Yeah,
The
I
whole
know.
thing?
The whole thing? Well, not the ticketed dinner.
The whole thing Saturday?
Yeah, the whole thing Saturday is free.
It's free.
Yeah.
Okay.
Free.
Oh, cool.
And free museum admission so people can come and see the Wyoming Cowboy Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
we love this event, and it's a great place to bring kids. It's totally family friendly, and lots of things to experience and see.
Yeah. Thank you. It's going to be a great event. Again, it is May 8th is the
and
dinner.
9th.
The full day event is May 9th.
Yes, Saturday, May 9th from 9 to 3.
Great. And if they want to participate, if they want to bring a wagon, if they want to
Oh my gosh,
be in the
yes.
farmer's market, if they have a dog, how do they get involved?
So the easiest way is just to call us. So you can always call us. Do you want me to say the phone number?
You call? What's that mean?
I know, seriously. We're kind of old school.
Yeah.
It's a museum. You can call us. Or you can find us, you can email us at rockpile@vcn.com. You certainly can come into the museum. We get lots of visitors about that. And so those are the best ways. Or you can find us on Facebook or Instagram.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else about sheep herders?
I don't know. Is there anything else I should be?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a great time.
Yeah. So that is May 8th or 9th. The website's rockpilemuseum.com, Facebook, Instagram, 682-5723, rockpile@vcn.com.
Yeah.
And then we have other great events coming in June. Stay tuned for those. It'll be the 150th anniversary
Of the Battle of...
of all the battles in the Plains Indian Wars of 1876.
Yes.
So we have a speaker coming. We have a
do.
field trip. 4th
Yeah.
of July is coming. Lots coming ahead.
And if anyone is interested in traveling with us, because that is becoming a part of what we do at the Rockpile, same thing. Email us, come in, talk to us, call, and just ask to be put on the list because, we can only accommodate, we're going to hopefully have 2 chartered buses for the Battle of Little Bighorn. But get on the list. We'd love to let you know what we're doing.
Yeah, and members typically get first choice on
Members do.
limited seating events like dinners and field trips. So become a member of the Rockpile Museum Association. It's really a reasonable yearly fee to join, and then you get first choice at all these great events and programs.
You do. And you get to come as many times as you want to the museum.
Museum admission is free for all members.
Yeah.
So,
Love it.
well, thank you, Heather.
Thank you, Robert.
All right.